It looks like a UFO, but sounds like a jet plane. It's got blinky out on the edges like the airplanes do on the end of the wings, but I don't see no wings on them things, just a little round, silvery, spherical shape, man, kind of glimmering in and out of the reality as it kind of smiles at you, and you feel this warmth in your heart, and you know the brotherhood of love is hanging around this old Mother Earth and on your side of town, too, man, you know, and you know soon they'll be coming around, bringing us around, see, because it's not them that needs to come around, it's us, you know. We need to get back on the bus, Gus, find out where the train's been taking us, man, and turn that whole thing around, man. Teach that engineer not to be so greedy and silly and just, you know, doing it for himself when he's got a whole trainload of people, you know, attached on. You got to be a little more consciously present than all that. You know, it's not just you, you know. It's the whole trainload too, man. You got to think about that shit, man. You know, other people have feelings, man. They might not want to go, you know, that way. They want to go this way, and that's what they booked the trip for, and you just kept on hauling ass because you was having too much fun going through Arkansas or something. I don't know. You drive your train badly, don't you know? But guess what? The winds have changed. They do blow. And baby, you're getting your medicine back, don't you know? So don't worry about it, man. You know, the train just reminded you of all these other people too, didn't it? Who, by golly, just happened to be you know? Well, let me give that a little salute too. 'Cause, you know, everyone you see, everyone you be, is you too, man. I mean, come on. You know, the streets have no name there either, man. But everybody else has a name, baby. You know, one name. Mother, baby. Okay. I don't want to explain it right now. If you can't dig it, then have it your way. I don't care. I'm going to share right now a beautiful little toke from the atmosphere of 9,000 feet high in the Rocky Mountain sky. It's really going to help you take off and fly. Now, it's a sacred moment, so put your hand over your heart, okay? You got to do that every time you think of Mary J, man. See, I mean, her and Linda Ronstadt, they're cousins, you know. I mean, you know, that's just to give you an idea of how hot Mary J is every day since the beginning of time and beyond it, too, man. I mean, this girl is so doggone cool. That's why she's our mother and our friend and our lover, too, man. Oh, baby, just wait till you see what's going on inside of you, man. Ooh, that dream is twisted. Here, we'll help that one unwind and give you the one we call divine, okay? It's a spring creek moment here, man, on the Hazy Radio Network, 'cause we love you crazily so, man, and only want to share the heart's true glow. Okay, so take it that way, babies, you know, get high, don't fry, all right? Here go, sacredly so, okay, with great respect, heart and soul, united in our, atmospheric breath, baby. A transformative one, ignited by the flame of love, enhanced by the flower of life, whose, sweet fragrance takes you so far, yet so near and dear, right inside your heart, baby. You start to get it clear when you look out there and say, wow, what's been getting in my way? And, you know, I mean, there's no haze anymore. But then there's the haze. But it's not a haze, it's a glow now, don't you know? Goes around all of our body and soul, you know, what do they call it, the etheric presence or something like that? You do think this little tiny container of a human being could hold, you know, the magnificence of your entire spirit and the entire universe right along with it? Well, of course it can. But, you know, it likes to exuberate itself into creation. So there's this auric field, we call it, you know, around us. It makes us a spherical person. And now, listen, why do you think you see so many spherical objects in the sky when you're, you know, seeing UFOs and shit? You're starting to catch on? See, a UFO is a person, too, just like you, man. Now, one might be designed to take people as passengers, same way a horse is in the 3D, you know what I mean? And there's a variety of ways the horse can do that. You can ride on its bareback, you can throw a saddle on it, and gussy it up, make it look real sharp and shiny, I mean, you know. Or you can have it pull your buggy or your wagon, or, you know, it's all in how you guys decide to work together, and what's the most fun for both of you, you know, man? It's a mutual thing, it's a partnership, don't you see? Well, it's the same way with the new reality, man. As you begin to realize the horse you really ride, well, baby, you realize you're riding in style and you can do it any old way you feel like after a while, 'cause the feeling becomes more genuine. See, the more you step into yourself, the more authentic you become. The more whole of a presence, man. No, I didn't say whole of a presence. I said whole of a presence. We've been the whole before. Now we get on with the glow of the medicine show of life. Man, loving it into being in that, exuberant sort of way that starts right there in the center of your root, wouldn't you say? And just heavily takes you away, or mightily. I mean, it's like a cosmic explosion, for heck's sake. That's why I call it the Big O, because it's just like it, don't you know? Only so much more. Whoa. That's why we call it a medicine show, man. It's a learning ground. It's a playing field. It's like, a living motion picture that creates itself like a video game does, man. And we're just one little player in that whole big thing. Yet we're the whole thing too, man. We're the inner world and the outer world and all the rest of it is one singular globe. Boy, I think we need some more coyote medicine, don't you know? Oh, darlings. I miss you so, sitting here on the mountain and, hanging out. Well, I got plenty of company, though, and my divine little dog, too. Oh, darling, there's an assemblage here such as we've never seen before. And one of these days, your eyes are going to be clear enough to see it, dear, and see your place in it and be here, you see, because that's what we're doing anyway. We're gathering together on the side of this little mountain down below these gigantic peaks above, which kind of represent in their own Rocky Mountain sort of way the place we originated in this reality, man. It was where we had our first home presence was way on top of big old tall mountains like that, man. We lived in these palatial estates. I don't know what else to call them. There's no real describing them because they weren't too much like anything in this shadowy world we've been living in since we forgot all about that shit. But see, that's the beauty of being with the mountains because they remind you of that. And they'll bring you back, just their sheer energy will bring you back past life memories of it, of the beginning family and of the, hanging out in the tall places, and watching over the small places below and keeping everything in the flow, even the birds and the bees and the animals and the trees, and everything just rocking and rolling. And ooh, babies, I mean, see, there it is again, that big oak. Starts right in the middle, and it's fueled heavily by appreciation, man. When you really appreciate getting what you got, all right, then you got a whole lot more, don't you know? Because you realize that was a limitation too, man. Even that. Yeah, you held back so much. You can't imagine how numb you've been until you start going beyond it, see. And it's so much more than what you get here in the 3D because it's expressed multidimensionally, a feeling besides the flow of life and everything else. Well, that's what that is too, is a feeling. But it creates its own stream, and we live in that stream. Sometimes I get conscious of it just as I'm going through my simple little days here on the side of the hill, walking the dog, and I'll just experience some sort of moment where it's just all glimmery and glowing and beautiful, man. It's a little more than 3D, but there you are. We're just walking down the side of the road, and your little dog trotting ahead saying, "Don't worry, Dad, I'll warn you if there's anything coming up." And boy, I got to leave Mark here. We'll let him know, Dad. Don't worry. He's the boss, I'm just a player in the field, man, As, the dog's teaching me how to follow the flow. Now, he's a dog, so he does a dog thing. Well, I'm a dog in human form, but, a hound dog. They got a good sniffer, in other words, man. Oh, gosh. Did you know they remanufactured my nose a while back, too? Wow. I tell you, I feel like I've been underhauled, man. Coming back to life, though, babies, as we walking down the road with little Oakie Kenobi, and let's create a bright sunny day, but not too hot, man. About 62 or so. I mean, just right for strolling out there and soaking up a little bit of that life, a little bit of that sunshine. Wow. I mean, as you're just walking down there, you and that dog, man. I mean, we're just like man, how? But it's technology, babies. It's just an amazing miracle we can get away with any of this, isn't it, man? Rocking and rolling this early in the day, worldwide, with people we know, yet we might not even know each other's name yet, but people we know intimately, I mean, we feel each other all over this earth, gathered, through this little perch here at 9,000 feet high in Rocky Mountain sky, where you got that guy, Grandpaw Coyote, who's ready to fly. Yes, I am. This little spaceship, love, is perched for takeoff. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? And so we're living high, and we're looking to get higher still. I mean, each and every day we take it to a whole new level, several times, wouldn't you say? Monday through Friday, by the way. Got to get it clear, dear. 8 to 11 a.m. here in the mountainsides. Over there on the eastern sides, I think that's 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Over there in the UK, it's somewhere around 3 to 7, something like that. A beautiful, or 3 to 6, I guess it would be. Something like that, it's approximate, because their time changes and our time changes don't quite match up. But anyway, you guys, there's these things called time converters on the internet. They're really handy, Don't get one if it looks like it's got a bunch of malware on it, don't even go there, man. You have to be careful. But the legitimate ones are pretty obvious. I can't remember any specific reference right now, or I'd give you one. But these time converters are really handy. Like you put in 8 a.m. Mountain time and ask it what your local time is, and bing, it pops it right up. Well, look at that. He's on it, 6 o'clock Tuesday, when he's really on it 8 o'clock Monday. Wow, how about that? It boggles your mind, all this time shit. It's like, because it's so surreal. It just ain't right. But, it's one way the angels have of getting us coordinated and getting us into flight, and sending some energy out there. Just going across the airwaves here on the internet, man, it's sufficient to really alter the reality quite a bit, because it's an energetic presence and it's meant to spread everywhere. And that's why we're on this huge network of the internet, man, because it's the widest audience there could possibly be. But it's not just an audience, don't you see? It's the whole wide world being affected by the energy. The expansion and the glow, don't you know? See, this is how we take control and get the engineer under control, babies, and get him out of his rock star status, or her rock star status, and get him to be a real rock star. Not be a hairball at all, but, one that just wants to exuberate life, but brilliantly so, and always with great quality, man. If you can't take it slow, it ain't rich no more. You know what I mean? Yet it seems so explosive and expansive at the same time. It's a grand experience to know that you're united with all of humanity, and that brings sanity to even the engineers, see? When he realizes the singularity of that conscious presence we call the heart. For lack of better terminology, it's the center of love. You feel it right now. That presence is in all of us worldwide. And that energy, that presence we're holding together, just as a bunch of clowns hanging around here in a funny little radio show on the Hazy Radio Network. I love you so, Zeta. Thank you. She rocks, I tell you what. Yeah. Well, anyway, it's a grand time here, and it's quite divine, and all we got to do is take the time to experience, make it real, make it right, rock with it, recognize what's going on right now, and see how that energy is influencing, because it's going, through several different little internets. By the way, if this one ever goes down, just be hanging around these same hours. You will experience, Spring Creek, the headwaters of life, coming to you in different ways, baby, because we don't let go no matter what happens, don't you know? We're here, and we're rocking day after day, and you will hear what we play, and you'll experience, what we say, just as we say it right now, because it's the same moment anyhow. See, that's where all this leads, man, It's reconnecting us so we can see these connections worldwide and live them here in these moments on this little radio show. But that reminds us of our eternal truth. So it's kind of like the gathering heart of humanity has activated all of us as its little seedlings to bring forward the bigger seedlings, and that's how it works. And as our energy, communicates, it's a real personal experience, and we expand and grow through some humorous ways, don't you know? You got to remember, it's Coyote medicine, And it may seem real slow, but when you look back, you go, oh my, the days, the years, they just melt. And suddenly you're someplace you didn't think you ever would be, but the place you always wanted to be. Suddenly. Same experience as walking the old dog down the road and watching the world not dissolve around you, but become completely enlightened. The solidarity of it melds into a glittering glow. So everything still is kind of like what it is, but kind of not. It's a whole different world, really. It's alive, invisible presence. And guess what? You just walk right into the middle of it and you're alive too, man. You've returned to your centering love in those tall places we began at, Right near Spring Creek, baby, the headwaters of life, here on the Hazy Radio Network. It's an experience that expands and grows, don't you know? A tiny little trickle is what begins the stream, one little drop. And then another little drop, and then another little drop, and then another little drop, and pretty soon you got the rock opera of life going on, don't you know? And everybody's just so happy to be in it, We all get paid well, and shit. It's a rock star life. We're in a rock star world, don't you know? Mother Earth is the darling of the universe, and the creator thereof too, not as just the earth. She's symbolic. But that's the holding of her presence in the 3D, too. You got to remember that now. Don't let go. She is your mother. We never let go of the earth, Yeah, we're meant to be gathered with the stars, but we bring them here with us. We don't have to travel anywhere. Geez, we already are there, see? We're made of stardust anyway. Well, what that means, that glittery glowing stuff you just walked into, he just drove the train into, man, And finally, we're all going to the same glowing place. We're all in the same momentum in the same place. We see that we've been riding on the same old train all this time, man. We just had an engineer or two that, couldn't unwind in any other way but just to be self-indulgent and a bit selfish about it, too, and didn't give a shit about nobody or nothing. Pedal to the metal, or something like that. Whatever it was, there's always a little different attitude. But it's just that the route was unpredictable. You never knew what might happen to the engineer. But what we didn't realize was, he was right here, she was right here with us the whole time, and we with them too, see? So whatever that erraticism was, is some kind of experience we needed to go through, for whatever the reason. So in a way, the engineer was right, even though he's blind and crazy. It's just so insanely empty, he had to fill himself with more and more turf all the time, I use the term he loosely. It could be, androgynous for all we know. Who knows who's really been piloting the plane, man? You can't always see up in the cockpit. And if you try to go up there, they'll arrest you and throw you out of the plane at 32,000 feet with no parachute, man. Expect cops to catch you on your way down. Yeah, right, see? That's the old human way, the dog-eat-dog kind of place. Well, no dog was eating no dog, but we sure were harassing each other pretty severely, man, Oh, I know what some of that other shit went on in the background. Saw some of that when I was a kid. Just, put me on the floor, don't you know? But guess what? You always get back up, man, If the train took a tight turn and you almost fell out, but you hung on for dear life, guess what? You came around. Don't matter how you got there. You got there, okay? So from this point on, it's going to get a hell of a lot easier. You won't struggle no more. Because the energy affects and influences the world around us. Just watch and grow and glow. I don't need to explain it anymore. You see it, you feel it, you be it, and this is the way it is, you live it. See, so we got to bless this internet and this Hazy Radio Network and everything associated with it, all this technology we got here hanging out, the chat room too, all of that. We got to bless all that for helping bring these energies out there and get them scattered about there. All over this earth. There's even people tuning in from Russia every now and then. At least I can see them sometimes, but sometimes not. But anyway, well, it's crazy. We get them everywhere, man. It wouldn't surprise me at all. There were, star children tuning in too. But it's the energy that's important. That we share here each and every day, and just coming together in that dancing party and sort of way. How else would a coyote play? You think you just can go get all holy and righteous and, float up to the clouds on golden wings. Well, I guess you can do it that way if you want to, but it's not much fun. Shit. You got to remember why we became human in the first place, and that was for the adventure of it. And if you got to be honest in yourself, it's true. You take a lot of risks in this life. I don't care who you think you are. You've done it many a time. Sometimes it pans out and sometimes it pans under. Sometimes these planes go down to lower levels, man. And sometimes they go asunder and you got to find a whole new plane to fly on, man. You see, all the props get knocked out from under you once in a while in this old life just because you put too much faith and trust in it. You know better, man. Shit. But anyway, the overextended have underextended now and brought themselves back to the personal presence of the being that we are. And we feel and experience it. And it releases that side, that part of our heart that seemed never to want to let go of the pain and the agony, just wanted to prolong it, don't you know? Kind of a masochistic little shit, huh? But we finally bringing it out of it just by experiencing the life, see? Because then it realizes, too, that it's not separate. It's part of you, part of me, part of all that we are and all that we see. It's just the way we've been in 3D, kind of isolated from our real presence. But now the eyes, the heart, the glow expand the experience, don't you know? You don't have to wait for tonight or tomorrow or, regret that you didn't do this yesterday. Just be here now, babies, It's all in the flow. It's all in the glow. And when you look at it from here, it's perfect to now, don't you know? So let's get a rockin' and put a little roll in it, a little strum and stroll in it, a little bass harmony too, huh? Well, we might take it easy. I don't know. I'm feeling like a riverboat ride, Proud Mary and all that stuff, I think that's the way we ought to go right now, 'cause I think, we just got to be like a bull charging in this loving way and not let anything get in our way. 'Cause we're already at the destination, eh? Old Grandpa Koyote and Oakie Kenobi and angelic presences too, like Sweet Mary J., helping us all get it underway from the home of the Rocky Mountain High, Crestonia, Colorado, man. One of the highest places there could ever be, but our elevation do vary greatly, man. I remember when it was subtropical here and dinosaurs were hanging out, but that was, a week ago Thursday, I think it was. These hippies was passing through, Okay, I exaggerate ever so slightly, but don't be surprised if you see the skies light up brightly and there's old Grandpa with this huge old UFO that's meant to carry people and goods and services from there to here, wherever they want to go, man, And he's got all these little scout ships that help him, collect people and luggages and shit together, and away we go, man. And man alive, you thought those cruise ships were something? God, those things that bury you, man. There's no personality to them at all, man. The people made the difference, and that why it was fun for some anyway, But anyway, long story short, this is the cruise that you always been waiting to take, because it's the dream of your heart fulfilled, man. You're gathering together there in that big old gigantic spaceship love, man, shining brightly from above. We're gathering together in the party chambers of life, where everything is soft and fuzzy and, service is immediate, and you don't have to only think it, and there it is, man, But no, it's not like that. Put the credit card bag in your pocket, man. Shit, you paid at the door, okay? This is a free party, man. We don't even know what money is here, okay, man? Let's get this party underway. See, so what we do, we kind of like, as we gather there in that spaceship, man, we kind of like get on the same tonal harmony, and circulate ourselves in a circle, and then like, maybe do a little rock and roll, go charging like a bull into the energetic fields of life, like the rock stars that we are, because we're meant to set up the energy field that everybody else gets to flow in, don't you know? The predicators have predicated, and our presence has unpredicated now. It's no longer predictable. Is here and now and then how, because they knew it then, because they saw it. See, and if you've seen it, you've been it. And there you are, you see. Something I learned a while ago. It's tricky as hell here that way, but it's true. If you dream it divinely with the presence of love that you are, similar to what we're trying to experience here today, well then, babies, you know that you got it underway, because you see the living results of it right here, right now, today. It's not something you have to, ponder about or wait for, agonize any more kinds of suffering experience. Done enough of that shit, man. A lot of you people have made yourselves so hard that, it's like trying to thaw out, 16 miles of ice in 35 seconds. But guess what? If the ice is the illusion, then perhaps it's lost its weight, and the heaviness can drain out of this experience without there having to be a lot of severe quakes and gushing floods and shit like that. I mean, maybe it can just okay, so we really weren't buried under 16 miles of ice. We just thought we were, We got illusionated into a warped through reality through somebody's warped little mirror on our path through 3D, Well, we were on the highway to hell, babies, but it leads to paradise, and that's what makes it really nice. So don't think twice today, just get out there and live and experience it and be okay, all right? Just breathe, man, and go with the flow, and let's go charging like the bull. What that means is, we're not insanely targeted on the matador's presence, but we are engaging the reality with the force and swiftness and clarity of the same message that the bull is conveying to the matador, Watch out, world, here comes the love. Here comes the love. Here comes the love. Wow, there goes the judge, man. He's gone the other way. In fact, there ain't no judge no more. We get to play. Yay! Finally, we got the mother trucker to slow down and stop in a divine sort of paradise place. And it's where we were going in the first place. I think it's right where we started from. How about that? Spring Creek. There it says on the railroad yard sign, Spring Creek. And that's spelled C-R-I-C-K, that metaphorical way, this Western, the way you say it, okay? Because creek is just as good as that, too, but that says, you haven't quite worn the Eastern out of you, okay? Western is bestern, I always say. But then, who can be prejudiced on this kind of day? We all come from the same place, and we're all part of the same experience. And we're living it in a united sort of way. And bless your personal experience in it today. Let's get the rest of this multiplicity underway, okay? It's a gathering of the heart, gathering of the soul. The medicine that comes to you from paradise, don't you know? Well, guess where that is? Right where you're feeling it, okay, man? Inside of your heart today in a rock and roll sort of way. Because you tuned into the likes of little Oakie, One, Kenobi, and Grandpaw, who work in, some kind of uniform harmony. He's over there dreaming us into being some more now. He really had a good day already, man. But, it's so cold. It's just like January and April, but I'm not complaining. This afternoon it'll be June and May, you know what I mean? Whatever, it does. The Rocky Mountain High is really interesting because it changes greatly moment to moment and day to day. Makes it a bit unpredictable, wouldn't you say? And then we think to ourselves, wow, we got no control over our environment, so we have to adapt to the environment. We have to put on, down jackets and shit, stay warm when we're out there moving around, doing what we got to do, etc., But little by little, nature teaches you that you really are in control. You just didn't see the flow. You didn't know what control was. You thought it was some kind of mental process where you became a little bit dictatorial. You had it your way, in other words. You thought that was the deal for a while. Thank goodness you got over that. Oh, some people never do, but guess what? It's all through. You know, and it's all backfiring on you anyway, man. Time to get out of it while you can, you know. Come out and play with the rest of us, wouldn't you say? Feel this energy rocking through the airwaves of this medicine show here on the Hazy Radio Network. Inside of your life too, man, because you might be tuned in to a little different frequency and hear us in a little different way, because it's a multi-dimensional kind of day on this Wowzer Wednesday, wouldn't you say? See how helpful our little Mary J can be. Oh, I love you so darn, don't you? With all the passion I can muster too, man, you know, because I ain't got much left in me now. My old spark's gone out. My flame's gone down. But the fireworks are still going on. My goodness, how about that? I think I'll keep hanging around. I like you, babies, and you know, I think you're kind of cool, man. I said, wow, you know, if you don't come and take a bus trip with me now, well, you better do it the next time around, okay? Don't miss it. No, really, not for anything. If you want to come and take this bus ride with us, well, you're a winner already, and let's work something out, man. You know, there's always a way. You know, what I did with it is I sat down and figured out now, starting from point ground zero, this is what it's approximately going to cost me to do it realistically, you know, and I was a little generous on the tab, so I wanted to make sure, you know, I didn't miss. You know, I had a little fudge in there, you know, 10, 20%. So, you know, if I'm off a little bit, it's still going to work. But I found the basic expense, you know, per person. And I just posted that as the donatory price, man, you know, of coming and taking this journey. Now, you know, that's basically how it's going to work, you know, if we get the desired maximum. Now, if we don't get the desired maximum, it'll still work, but you just downsize the project a little bit and decrease the expenses, you see. That's how you do it. In other words, you get a little smaller bus that's a little more, you know, less expensive to operate. Yeah, etc. You know what I mean? What I'm seeing for real now, and this is just kind of a settling, earthy deal that we're getting into right now, so you can feel the grounding of this glittery, glowing energy, okay? So this is the deal. I really want to see a hippie bus come our way, you know, like a 1947 Chevrolet or something, 38 passenger, something like that, you know what I mean? You know, but I want it to be in excellent mechanical condition. I don't want to have to worry about anything. I mean, you know, those things were all reliable till a brake line broke or something, but, you know, we want these things to be, you know, in as updated condition as far as brake lines and, you know, brake systems go. Prefer air brakes, really, but that might be a bit heavy duty for an old bus like that. But anywho, you know, something we can safely and reliably drive upon the highways a bit and not have mechanical-like difficulties. It'd be neat if it had all that hippie love painted all over it, and if it had a bit of history to it, you know, like if it was Ken Kesey's bus or something, you know. Or, you know, could be anybody that's just been here experiencing this life, traveled and journeyed in one of them hippie buses and knows it's a good set of gear and it'll get you there one way or the other, you know, and really appreciates the journey they've made in it and thinks it's time to give it to a new life of service, which won't be too hard or severe because, you know, shoot, we're just running around the West, man. We ain't going no 1,000 miles a day or nothing. Shit, we're you right out. And we ain't truckers. We're just mother truckers now, man. We're the ladies waiting back there for the truckers' return, babies, you know. Well, guess what? It's party time. Daddy's gone. Let's get it on. Down there at the OK Corral, okay? No, not the place where you shoot it out. The place where you get it on, man. It's right there next door to Spring Creek. See, it's that old saloon over there. See, with the dancing girls giggling at you from up there on the roof. You don't hear that? You don't see that? Oh, well, babies, maybe you're living on the other side of reality. You're seeing the upside down way, you know. Maybe you need to question your severity, okay? You know, just about everybody else is catching on, man. You don't want to get left behind now, do you? I didn't think so. You're getting the Coyote side of it today in that Wowzer Wednesday sort of way. Here in that radio network we call Hazy, babies. Now listen, you know, do get over to thecoyoteclub.com. You got to check it out. I put my heart and soul into that website, man. Shit. Especially that Win Big page, WINBIG, Win Big page. Well, that's where you get to book the trip, man. You know, it's going in September, mid-September of this year is the journey. And you know, we're formulating it right now, have been all through the day today, man. But, you know, just getting a good journey underway. You know, first you gather and collect all the hearts that are there already, you see. So you experience this unifying life, and it goes from there, baby. We might just be traveling on that luxury liner spaceship here pretty soon, man. You know, it's our turn, babies, you know. The lies, well, shit. As the glitter and the glow comes alive, the truth is all we see, you know. And guess what? We not only survive, we thrive. We get to party now with our cousins from those other planetary places, you know. I know I got a few grandchildren out there from past life experience and shit way out there, man. Who knows what they look like now, you know. Everybody morphs their own way, man. But tell you what, the party's on here at Mother Earth today. And right here inside of you, we're sending out that invitation too. It says, come gather, come be with us, our divine cousins and friends from the journey. We're all family. We're all part of the same nature. All part of the winds of change, blown into being by the gathering of our experiential heart in this unified sort of way. See, that's been the journey of humanity, to go through all the fractures and fissures in creation and heal them and fix them. And how do you do that? By living through them, man, taking them into yourself and being a part of them, you know. Each human being here is a hero in every right, for whatever experience they've been through here. However damning and hurtful it might have been, or otherwise, you know what I mean? It's like, wow. The big surprise is we thrive through such dark and banal experience. God, it can get, you know, oh, so heavy here. But it brings us to our light side. You know, you can only take that heavy ride for so long, man. Then you either dissipate into it, it takes you down, in other words. And if it does, well, guess what? That's ground zero again. Black comes the blossom, starting out as a sprout. There's no getting out. There's only getting on with it, don't you see? Death is an illusion. Shit. There is no end because you don't know where to begin. It's right here, right now. That's all. And that's all of it, too. So you can't say that's all, huh? Because it's expansive. It can be and do what it wants to be. This is just one aspect of the experience, one side of it. And it's expressed very multidimensionally. We experience our presence everywhere as a singular place and a singular person. Still appreciating the personal being that we are, too. The presence is both. It's natural. See, when you get comfortable with that other presence inside, then you'll finally be comfortable inside the human hide. And you begin to experience this reality quite differently than you ever did in 3D, of course. And without remorse, we let go of the heaviness. We lighten up the burden of the past. We don't only forgive and forget, we get on with it. Who gives a shit? Let it go. It ain't there no more. You don't have to experience it that way. This is our moment. This is our place. This is our time. And this is our person speaking to us personally, right from the heart, in the way that a coyote does. The experience is a story, a huge metaphor. And by the way, if you haven't read The Atomic Bomb lately, maybe you ought to go back and reread it. Little book I wrote a while back under the pen name of Coyote Bear. Check it out. Amazon, Barnes & Noble. It'll be there, okay? Anywho, you know, yeah, it's a description of the human experience, much like we're living and experiencing right now. Given in a little more, less enlightened way, but, you know, still the same energy. Just been growing since then, been growing since now, you know. That's got out there a few copies, sorting them, you know, floating around the world, going from place to place, hand to hand. And some people, you know, they just don't understand, but everybody else does. And when you've lived a life like that same energy field, then you know and recognize who that is in that story. You see your own presence there, don't you? See, that's another aspect, another side of the experience in unity. So you can live anybody's story because we're all together in it. Like molecules and atoms are joined in the experience of the bodily presence too. Much like that, we're totally syncopated with everything around us, which makes us synchronistic, harmonically present in our resonating tones of experience. And we came here to get the dark side, bring it back to the bright side. Well, that's a base way of saying it. But that's the way we're playing it. And that's the way we got through, by telling ourselves that again and again as we went through and through and through it again. Here we are. The memory of all that's still there, but it's not heavy anymore. Because we knew where it led, right where we are now, the beginning of this experience in unity. The rock and the roll united in divine harmony. Now you understand what I mean by saying, go charging like a bull. Just let yourself experience it exuberantly from the heart, from this unity place. And all the rest of us be partying with you. Even if you don't see our face, even if we, 22 million miles away, we're still partying down. Well, you just like I was right there. You were right here, babies. Excuse the mess here. My cleaning ladies have been a little bit off lately, I just can't get them to dust anymore. And they don't do windows, But whatever else they do is sufficient. Yeah, babies, I tell you, this space you love ain't too bad now, is it? No. And don't worry about the floor. I know it looks like delicate white mohair with a golden glow. Well, that's just so it'll be soft, don't you know? It's this kind of stuff that's designed, to clean up after itself. So if you, spill a beer on it, it just dissipates. If you drop a piece of gooey, icky chocolate cake on the floor, well, the dog don't get it no more, the carpet does, It's gone. See, it's self-cleaning, because nobody wants to have to live in a place you have to clean up after yourself all the time. Shit. When you party down with the divine, you're taken care of, and you don't need maids and butlers for that, now do you? Or you can have that experience with one another if you like. We trade sides on that one a lot, man, because the butler is always arrogant because he knows who really rules the flows there. And, of course, Then they got the sons of Satan hanging out in the backyard making all that racket with their motorcycles roaring around as they're all trying to play Evel Knievel or whatever it is they do back there roaring around on them motorcycles. Wow, it can be pretty wild, Good thing we got, the Pinkerton Protective Services at our side, eh? Ah, what a way, what a world. Oh, it's quite divine, man, wouldn't you say? The party's on at our place. Welcome, everybody, man. Come on, let's take this riverboat ride over here, man. They'd say it's a really neat concession. After what we've been through, hell, this is a piece of cake, man. Just upriver to New Orleans, or is that downriver to Memphis? I can't remember, but it's St. Louis. He's going to St. Louis. We got to straighten that place out, kids. Oh, darling, just keep the energy charging forward, okay? Then do it in this hazy radio sort of way, which is what? Very clear, dear. Okay? That's what Grandpa say. Through the aspects of my little Oakie Kenobi, my constant companion, mostly. When you say, oh, maybe just like you are too. Wow. I'll tell you, it's neat to be unified. It's a new experience for us all. So just let yourself expand and grow. Don't try to inhibit it no more, okay? Nothing to be afraid of. We got it underway. Just flow and glow. Spring Creek. Beginning. Again and again and again. The two little drops that become the stream of life, don't you know? Egged on by the fragrance of that beautiful blossoming cactus growing right there beside that first little spring. Oh my, that is the thing. Got us through, babies, because we always knew what to do. In the end, the cactus got us through. Think about it, now that's one that has a depth and dimension all to itself. Okay? Just remember, it's coyote medicine, man, Want to get it clear? Tune in here, dear. Day after day, Monday through Friday, as Grandpa Coyote helps us all flow into the glow. Okay? That's what we're here for, isn't it, Oakie? Yeah, man. Woof, woof.